Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this video we're going to talk about, we're going to follow up on actually the free video from yesterday. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. It was the title, New Highs Don't Apply. And yeah, I try to throw that out there just to kind of get everybody thinking about what if the markets don't punch up to new highs and follow through. Now, I'm not doubting we may see new all-time highs, but new all-time highs in the current environment have a different probability. There's a different scenario that I would not have discussed or considered through, July, August, and even half of September. And that is a new high there is likely to follow through. A new high now in chop, it could be a different conversation. But I think that, hopefully it got everyone thinking about, well, what if we actually exhaust that we find resistance at that high? Now what, right? So this is the second part of that conversation. Now what? Now, for me, it's going to be taking the S&P and breaking it down into its three main sectors. That's going to be the XLK, the XLF, and ultimately the XLV. Now, the question we ask ourselves is, which one is probably most vulnerable to a move lower? Now, by compartmentalizing this way, we're not looking for all the different sectors and stocks, a majority of them, I should say, to roll over, but rather a very segmented group. It could be tech, led by Apple and Microsoft. It could be financials, which, by the way, is not my guess at all. That is not what I'm going to look at, because if you've been following my work for any length of time, as much as I'm talking about the indices potentially at overbought resistance levels or heading up that way, we're long financials via regional banks, the KRE. We're short the ZB, the bond market, either through futures, the TLT. We're short there. We're continuing to buy long positions in the energies, and that goes for crude oil, natural gas, and oil stocks, OIH, XLE, XOP. So we're already positioned in some places, and notice we've already picked some of the long side. It's not that I'm bearish across the board. There are particular corners of the market that are buyable. Energy stocks, regional banks, financials are three that come to mind. So again, structure dictates strategy. But what about the rollover? Well, XLV is hard to ignore. While I don't want to short XLF, XLV might be a different conversation. XLK is likely going to move with the NASDAQ futures, with the QQQ. So this would be a very similar trade. However, if what's leading the NASDAQ and the S&P lower are Apple and Microsoft, then and only then does XLK make sense. But the fact of the matter is, we're actually seeing some of the components, namely the communications sector, extending to telecommunications. That's where I'm actually really looking for shorts. So if and when the NAS reaches a resistance level, or if it looks like it's ready to roll over, it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily long puts in the Qs, although that's clearly one place we can look. But I'm far more interested in communications. I'm far more interested in telecommunications. So then the stocks within the XLC and XLC and XLZ become much more interesting, because the relative performance, heck, telecommunications is already a double red. Perfect, right? That's the kind of market that we're looking at for more downside. So think about the way that you would take advantage of the indices reaching that potential inflection point, and then where your dollars would go in terms of building a position. And I've shared with you what I'm looking at to the long side and to the short side. So I hope this is a great follow-up to yesterday's conversation, that at least the conversation is, all right, what if we don't keep following through to higher highs? Where can I look for that opportunity? get a little bit more segmented, look at the sectors. And then if this is something that you want to join me throughout October and then into November, following these kinds of trades, I'm going to be putting these trades on live with you all. Come check out what we're doing starting the 25th. You'll get the class, so you can review that at your own pace between today and Monday the 25th. And then Monday the 25th from 2 to 4 p.m., we're going to start scanning the market for exactly the kind of setups that I'm talking about here. So that's simplertrading.com/extract. All right, so if you have any questions, leave them below. You have any comments? I loved the discussion from yesterday. Leave them below. Disagree, agree. This is how we elevate the discussion, all right? But do bump that like button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next update. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.